Okay, now I'm going to talk to you about how to find the scale factor between two shapes you know are similar. So we've already established that these two triangles, ABC and DEF, are similar triangles. Okay, the way that we did that is we found that not only do they have the same angle measures within the triangles, but we also saw that their side lengths, their corresponding side lengths, are all proportional. Okay. Now I'm going to show you how to find the scale factor between these two shapes. Okay, the scale factor of these two similar shapes. Okay, it's very simple. Here's what we're going to do. If I'm going to find the scale factor, first I have to identify which triangle is the original and which triangle is the image. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and mark right here that this triangle ABC is the original. So I'm going to put an O in the middle there. That is the original shape. That O represents O for original, okay? And let's say that this triangle DEF, let's say that that's my image triangle, okay? So there's I for image, okay? Okay, so I've got my original triangle, I've got my image triangle. How do I find the scale factor between these two? Well, in the previous video, we already established that corresponding sides are 10 and 20. So to find the scale factor between these two shapes, I would take the image, side length. So I'm going to write I for image, and I would put it on top of my scale factor fraction. Okay, so I'm going to put the image side length on top, and I'm going to put the original side length on the bottom. That's going to give me my SF, which stands for scale factor, but sometimes you'll also see it written as the letter K. K stands for scale factor. Okay, and I apologize for my ugly handwriting here. Okay, so I'm going to take 10 and 20, and I'm going to create a scale factor fraction to find my actual scale factor between these two shapes. Okay, so I'm going to take my image length, which is 20, and that corresponds with 10 on my original, and that 20 over 10 would reduce to, or simplify to, 2. I can't simplify 2 anymore. That right there is my scale factor. It's as simple as that. All done. I can do that with any of the corresponding side lengths because these shapes are similar. So I'm going to do in blue, I'm going to do 6 and 12 to prove to you what the scale factor is, or to find the scale factor. So I would take the image side length, which is 12, and I would put that on top of 6, which is the corresponding side length on the original shape, and that would also reduce to 2. My scale factor is 2. Okay, so my scale factor is 2 here. Okay, it's as simple as that. Now, what I want to do next here, let me erase a bunch of this stuff here. What I want to do next is I want to show you how important it is to make sure that you have the image shape on top and the image side length on top of your scale factor fraction and the original side length on the bottom of your scale factor fraction. Okay, I'm going to show you why that's important. Okay, now let's pretend that now let's make the big triangle my original triangle, and let's make the smaller triangle ABC, let's make that my image. Okay, that right there, that small change, making the bigger triangle my original triangle and making the image triangle my smaller triangle, that little change right there has completely changed my scale factor. Here's why. Okay, I'm going to find my scale factor. I'm going to take 2 corresponding sides, so 20 and 10 again. Okay, but remember, to find the scale factor between two similar shapes, I need to put the image side length on top of my scale factor fraction and the original side length on the bottom of my scale factor fraction. That will give me my scale factor. So I'm going to take 10, which is my image side length here. Okay, that goes on top of my fraction, and my original side length is 20, because that's the side length it corresponds to, and that would simplify to 1/2, or 1/2. My scale factor is 1/2, not 2. See the difference? That's a pretty important distinction, so please make sure that you do not make that mistake. Let's do it again with, this time let's do 7 and 14. Okay, the image side length here is 7, so that goes on top, and the original is 14. 7/14 I know reduces to 1/2. My scale factor is 1/2. Okay, it all depends on which of the two similar shapes, which is your original and which is your image, because that could completely change your answer.